Well, drama surrounding the investigation into Hunter Biden seems to be heating up. An attorney has come forward representing an IRS criminal supervisory special agent who says his client, who cannot be named, is seeking whistleblower protections from Congress. That's because this whistleblower has been involved in a years-long high-profile investigation into a person he believes has been subjected to preferential treatment and politics. The letter written by attorney Mark Lytle to members of Congress doesn't name who this client is, but it's now been revealed by CBS that the investigation he refers to is the one into Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden has been under investigation since 2018 out of Delaware, led by Trump-appointed attorney David Weiss. Just weeks after his father won the 2020 presidential election, Hunter put out a statement declaring that he was under investigation in Delaware for his tax affairs. The investigation was originally looking into his finances relating to overseas business deals, but then started to probe potential tax crimes and making false statements in relation to the purchase of a firearm. It was reported in July last year that agents investigating Hunter Biden had reached a critical stage and had enough evidence to charge the president's son with a crime. However, we are now in April, and so far there's been nothing. According to Mark Lytle, his client, the IRS whistleblower, doesn't believe this is a fair investigation and basically wants the protection to come forward with what he knows about it. My client wants to come forward to Congress, the letter read. He's ready to be questioned about what he knows and what he experienced under the proper legal protections. Lytle also said what his client has to say would contradict sworn testimony to Congress by a senior political appointee. When he says that, he's referring to the fact that last month, Joe Biden's appointed Attorney General Merrick Garland pledged under oath that he would not interfere with David Weiss's investigation into the president's son.
I don't want to get into the internal elements of decision-making by the U.S. Attorney, but he has been advised that he is not to be denied anything that he needs, and if that were to happen, it should ascend through the department's ranks, and I have not heard anything from that office to suggest that they are not able to do everything that the U.S. Attorney wants to do.
The letter to Congress continues. Despite serious risk of retaliation, my client is offering to provide you with information necessary to exercise your constitutional oversight function and wishes to make the disclosures in a non-partisan manner to the leadership of the relevant committees on both sides of the political aisle. My client has already made legally protected disclosures internally at the IRS, through counsel to the U.S. Treasury Inspector General to Tax Administration and to the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General. The protected disclosures: 1. Contradict sworn testimony to Congress by a senior political appointee. 2. Involve failure to mitigate clear conflicts of interest in the ultimate disposition of the case. And 3. Detail examples of preferential treatment and politics improperly infecting decisions and protocols that would normally be followed by career law enforcement professionals in a similar circumstance if the subject were not politically connected. Finally, my goal is to ensure that my client can properly share his lawfully protected disclosures with congressional committees. Thus, I respectfully request that your committees work with me to facilitate sharing this information with Congress legally and with the fully informed advice of counsel. So we are now in year 6 of this investigation into Hunter Biden, and there's no update on when or if these charges will ever occur. Former State Department spokesperson Morgan Ortagus has told Fox News that there is a lack of faith in these investigations because of the politics involved.
So you already have a group of people, in many polls, getting close to 50% of Americans, who lack faith in our judicial system. And whenever you start to see credible career servants come forward and say that there are political ramifications behind these investigations, well, people just look to things like Twitter executives testifying in Congress that they were told to withhold the Hunter Biden laptop story ahead of the 2020 election. You start compounding all of these different scenarios. And my worry and my fear is that we have such a politicized rhetoric in this country that there really is a lack of faith in these investigations, not only by the DOJ, but now even by the IRS. So Republicans are certainly going to take this incredibly seriously.